Hello everyone, so glad to be back on Deep Truth, Deep Impact. I've been away for quite some time. I've been caught up on the primary channel, which I can no longer mention, and there's a lot going on with this platform. I'm not permitted to talk about it, but over the last couple of days, as you can see here, you notice there's a couple missing, and I cannot basically talk about it, but things have been removed, should I say, and I cannot give you the reason because now I think they have took it to a different level, and I'm just not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on getting this video out. It's a very important message. But the primary channel, which is this one, if some of you would go over there on these last two and put up a message to help the people understand that I'm going to be on vacation from this particular channel for 6 days. Today is Thursday, and I won't be able to, I won't be able to do that, and they're really cracking down on certain so if you would go over there and copy and paste a message and let the new subscribers know about this channel here and where to find me. It is normally a backup channel, should I say, but I'm just letting everyone know what happened as best I can. I want to thank all 2,000 subscribers for coming over here. I am very grateful to have you here, and we're going to look at first. We're going to go to spaceweather.com and look at the 3 rocks that barely missed this planet, but also we're going to be looking at the Taurus debris field, and I'm going to show everyone how you can check on this information, where to go, how to do it, and basically it's a update on the Trojans, and I'm going to release some information that I received about 2 weeks ago. What is going on with the Trojans, what's causing them, and how it's being affected, and what's fixing to happen. I'm trying to do the best I can, not to say certain things, certain words, should I say. To get an introduction to the Trojans, this is the only channel that basically focuses on this particular debris field. I suggest you watch the introduction, that will the Trojans impact the Earth in 2021, Safe Locations, Part 1. And then basically check on Part 2, 3, and I'm going to be putting a playlist together. But also updates dealing with this type of event. In this video we're going to be looking at a couple of predicting programming. As some of you may be aware of Greenland and how I made a statement, it was about 80% correct, and we're going to watch it again, but also we're going to watch, would you believe, another one has come out that is called the warning, And I watched the preview, and certain parts of this preview you can look to the left of the screen in certain images. I may end up stopping it, but it looks like the planetary system, actually. So we're going to look at that. We're also going to cover the Taurus debris field and the meteors for the whole year. We're going to look at that as well. And then we're going to go to spaceweather.com and we're going to look at the 3 rocks that just barely missed our planet. One was a 0.1 lunar distance, and that's extremely too close. We're gonna look at the sizes, and I tell people I'm not very concerned unless it's anywhere a 0.5 lunar distance. And a lunar distance, I'm going to give it to you in miles and how to measure these rocks in meters. So let's check out this Greenland. Before we do, I forgot to mention, in this particular movie, it talks about a comet that has broken apart and the debris field hitting the Earth. Well, the reason I want to stop it right here is when we go to the orbit diagram dealing with the Trojans, that is in the orbit of Jupiter, then you're going to see that it was classified as a comet when it went in to the debris field. And then later they classified it as a rock. A large asteroid went in there and hit the debris field. So this movie was supposed to come out September, I believe, the 19th, and they postponed it 3 days. It came out on the 22nd. And that was the day that we had a very nice, medium-sized, should I say, rock that's not so nice. And it barely missed the Earth. I don't know why they postponed it, but I remember that. And then also in the movie Deep Impact, that rock was supposed to hit Earth September the 22nd, from what I remember watching the movie. And then I put the dates together and I said I thought that was very strange. But I want you to remember parts of this movie. So when we go to the orbit diagram to see how that comet came in and hit the debris field 4 or 5 times and then exit out, well, that's interesting because it was a comet that broke up. And now Comet Atlas has broken up into 3 parts now, and I'm going to comment on that as well as the blue Kachina that's supposed to be here in November of 2022. So let's check out Greenland.
What people want to talk about today is this Clark, this interstellar comet.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, big news.
I don't see Clark.
Oh, maybe he's still sleeping.
Dad.
Some of Clark's larger fragments are now expected to enter our atmosphere.
That's right, and others are just.
What are they saying?
More of the same.
I bet it's gonna make a heck of a show.
Whoa. Where are they going?
I don't know. One first chunk is about to hit.
Plants?
Only part of it. It's going in the ocean. But you look at that. Wait, where's the explosion?
We now are getting word that the fragment has hit Central Florida.
Oh my God.
Wait, are some more pieces gonna hit?
Come on, let's go.
But the sky's on fire.
2 days. They got it all wrong. There's a ton of fragments. Planet killers.
Space agencies are predicting an extinction level event.
We're gonna be together, all right, kiddo? We're just trying to get to safety.
They've been tracking the military flights to bunkers in Greenland.
It's our only chance.
Perimeter breach. Perimeter breach. Runway 33.
Allison! Nathan! Allison!
Where's Dad?
We'll find him. It's okay.
Clark's largest fragment will hit in less than 24 hours.
my family into that bunker. I know you will, son.
If you are hearing this broadcast, seek shelter immediately.
What is it? What's going on?
If you are hearing this broadcast, seek shelter
John, go!
Hang on, Nathan.
Seek shelter immediately. Seek shelter immediately.
What am I gonna get, an android up here?
An android's not an approved expense.
Can you really put a value on human life? An asteroid 2 miles wide will fly by Earth.
The public is being warned not to panic.
Something follows me. I see it all the time. Stop living in my past.
You are basically going to sleep while his mind takes over your body.
It's easier to live in an illusion than it is in reality.
Not everyone is blessed with the luxury of eternal life.
God, how many sins have I committed this month?
9 sins this month.
I wonder what he's thinking about, floating up there all by himself.
You have 6 days, 11 hours, 34 minutes left.
Yeah, good luck with your thoughts and prayers, man.
Turn off.
I don't want to live without you.
Time just becomes more precious.
Come on, have some fun.
I've never felt more alive my entire life.
So, interesting, predicting programming. Hollywood. Well, is the Trojans going to do this? No, they are not going to do this. Is the planetary system going to do this? Yes. It's highly possible and could be even worse. So we're going to cover the planetary system. We're going to look at the blue Kachina, the red Kachina. I'm going to do a commentary on those subjects. But also, we're going to start the video now. And we're going to move on, and I'm going to go to spaceweather.com. So here we are, spaceweather.com. And it's October the 7th. And this is a very good website to keep up what's happening with the sun. Also, new meteor shower they're talking about that is coming in. And we will focus on the Taurus debris field in just a moment. And then we have about 30, should I say, yesterday it was 30, today it's 20 fireballs. But wait for another week or two. It's going to change. And this is the list. And what we're going to focus on, well, they already took one down, which was the 0.1 lunar distance. I'm going to go back and backdate it so we can find it. These are the identification numbers. This one is 0.4. And this one is 0.8 lunar distance. And that's all we have right now. So, as you can see, there's nothing to be concerned about. You know, here's 13.2 lunar distance. And I'm only concerned with anything that's a 0.5. A 0.5, which is half a lunar distance, and anything in that area, that's what I'll focus on. So let's change the date and see if that works. And all you have to do is click on, go back to the 6th because it was there, and then we'll scroll up and see what we can find. Scroll down. 5 fireballs. And here's the one that I'm looking at. Right here. So I'm going to zoom this in so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the one that showed up as 0.1 lunar distance. And it's 2021 TX. Okay. This one right here. And also the diameter is only 2 meters. Okay, so 1 meter is basically 3 feet. So this rock, if it did came in, it would, burn up. That's only 9 feet. And I'm only concerned about 20 to 30 feet. Anything below 30 feet normally burns up. This is the velocity that's coming in at 17.7 kilometers. The other one that we're going to look at is this one right here, which is 2021 TB1, and it's coming in, or should I say it came in on October the 3rd, right here, okay, but it is 0.4 lunar distance, and it's 8 meters, okay, and then this one here, which is 2021 TG1, is 0.8 lunar distance, and it's 8 meters. So if you want to check these out, and I will have the link in the description box, all you have to do is click on right here and it will take you to the orbit diagram. So let's go and check it out. When you click on to the identification number, it's going to take you to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And I noticed I haven't been here in quite some time. It used to be different to hit the orbit diagram, but it gives you the information over here, miscellaneous details. It gives you the number. It's classified as the Apollo. And as I mentioned before, they're not going to classify it as the Trojans. And then you're going to go right here to the orbit viewer, and you click on, and it's going to take you to show. So once you click on, it's already set for 1 day. And what I normally do is click on to the 1 hour, and then I'll back it up a few clicks. And then hit the full screen. So the reason I'm going back to one that passed a few days ago is so that we can see how close it came. And if you double click, it will bring you in closer. And now I'm going to stop it. Be sure that when you start playing around with these angles, I'm going to show you. You can go straight up. Okay? And you can go directly sideways, but be very cautious because it's very easy to mess the angle up. And then you can dial it in exactly what it's going to do. And you can really easy manipulate it to show that it hit the Earth. So you have to be cautious with that. Okay, so I'm going to bring it in. And this is the one we're looking at, 2021 TX. And that particular rock is basically 2 meters. So if you go 3 times that much, 2, 4, 6, it's only 6 feet. So that rock was nothing. That rock would burn up in the atmosphere, and we have absolutely nothing to worry about. But the reason I'm doing all of this is to show everyone, I'd like for you to get involved and go to the diagram, spaceweather.com, and get used to it. And this is the moon right here, okay? And I'm going to skip forward. So there you have it. Now I'm going to bring this up to show you how close it came. Planet Earth, the moon's right here. And there you have it. So it came very close, but I'm not concerned because it's only 6 feet. And now we're going to look at 2021 TB1 that came on the 3rd. And it's 0.4 lunar distance. And it's 8 meters. Now we're going to look at 2021 TB1, which is basically 8 meters in diameter, and that's about 24 feet. And this one's 0.4 lunar distance. And I'm going to stop it right here and explain something. A lunar distance is 238,900 miles. So 0.4 turns out to be 98,541 miles. So keep that in mind when we get ready to look at how close it comes to Earth. And then what I do is double click and it will bring you in closer. I'll back it up a little bit. Just step it back. Zoom in for you. So the entry point's about right along it here, and this is the moon. And of course planet Earth. And this is supposed to be 0.4 lunar distance. And I'm going to step it forward now so you can see. And that doesn't look right to me. 0.4 should be, this is the halfway mark, about right there. So what they're doing is they're going by the top. So this is a circumference. It could be a circumference on a horizontal, vertical, or even in degrees, 45. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to bring it up and go back just a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. And to me, it still doesn't look like 0.4 lunar distance. Maybe right there, because if you look from Earth to the moon, right here, halfway would be approximately right here, and it's 0.4. So maybe they missed the miles. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But it just doesn't look right. And remember, this is only 24 feet. It would burn up in the atmosphere. And basically, the only reason I'm showing you all of these is so that you would know how to go to this website and go to the orbit diagram so you can be involved in this as well. So this rock here, 2021 TG1, is only 24 feet. And I'm going to stop it right here, back it up a little bit. Now we're going to look and see how close it is. And this is 0.8 lunar distance, about 191,083 miles. And I'm going to skip it. And that's about as close as it's going to get right there. About right there. And that's approximately right. And the moon's over here. So there you have it. Now we're going to look at what's coming in here in the next couple of days. And there's nothing to worry about. It's just going to be a quick. And then we're going to continue on with the Trojans so you can understand what's happening. So we're going to pick out 2021 TT1, which is coming in October the 10th, just in 3 days from now. It's 1 lunar distance. Okay, remember that distance. It's 238,900 miles, and this rock is 20 meters, so that's about 60 feet. So let's check it out, and then we'll get on with the real stuff and information. So this rock is about 60 feet, medium size, that won't burn up. And this right here is the ecliptic. That means these lines means it's coming in from the bottom, as you can see. I'm going to bring this in a little bit. Now it's coming in from the bottom. Okay, remember that. So keep an eye on that. I'm going to bring it about right here and see what it's going to look like. Okay, so there you have it. If you're not looking at it in the right angle, you're going to miss it. See, so it's coming in from the lower part of the ecliptic. I'm going to bring this back, and it's 1 lunar distance. There you have it. So this is the orbit. That's 1 lunar distance from here to planet Earth, which is 238,900 miles. So anyhow, there you have it. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to go over another illustration, and then we're going to move forward with the Trojans so you can understand. So I thought it'd be good to take you to the Sky Live, and it's a good website, and you can find articles, planets, comets, asteroids, near Earth objects. But this is what I like. It's a 3D solar system, so let's check it out. So when you click on, you're going to go through the solar system, and it's going to show you a couple of comets that's flying by. That's not going to affect the Earth's orbit. It's not even coming near the Earth's orbit, actually. And it's just something that you can go to check if there's any comets that are coming in closer. And of course, that's planet Earth. And it's something that you might be interested in to get into. The reason I'm taking long, I guess you can say almost 30 minutes, is I want everyone to know how to work these orbit diagrams, where you can go to find them. You can also go to the American Meteor Society, and it will show you the meteors that's coming in. People send in photos and videos, and that's a good site as well. But as you can see, it's something you might be interested in. And of course, we're going to focus on Jupiter's orbit. I'm going to explain what happened, and then we're going to get into the information, and then we're going to sum this video up on Google Earth to show you the equator. They're concentrating on 1,000 miles north of the equator and 1,000 miles south, and the reason I will explain here in a few minutes. But there you have it. That's the sky view, and it's interesting to play around with and see what's happening in the different angles. So let's move forward in the video, and I'm going to explain, okay? And before I give you the information, I'm going to explain what happened. Shall we? Thank you. So here's what you need to know about the Trojans. So this illustration shows the smaller bodies, the rocky metallic, and this orbits the sun out to Jupiter. And we're going to get into that orbit in just a minute. This is back in 2018, just right about 770,770,000 that they found, and they continue to look for them. And this illustration talks about the different groups, the main belt, but also Jupiter and its belt of the Trojans. And you have the Apollos, which is a 30% increase this year. Next year, more than likely, we're going to see more. And then Jupiter has the Trojans in green. So as you can see how many rocks that our planet, it seems like it's a magnet for them actually. But if you look at the orbits, it's really outstanding how much we got going against us. I mean, look at this. It's amazing. Now this is a Kirkwood gap, and it deals with the AU units, with astronomical unit, and it shows you the belts. Also, in this illustration, this was recorded from when they started tracking these back in 2087, and it shows every year how much they increase in what they have found. Now, the white indications is the type of satellites that they had back then to find these rocks, and as you see, as we move forward, it's going to increase in white, and the reason is because of technology of the satellites. And it's really astounding what you're about to see. Some of you that have been on Deep Truth, Deep Impact for quite some time, you probably already see these diagrams. And the reason I'm showing them is because a lot of new subscribers is coming on, and I'm going to put this up on the primary channel if it's allowed, which I don't know if it's going to be. But as you can see, as we're getting closer to 2000, notice the number right there at 33,000. Now it's fixing to change, because in 2000 they had an increase in technology with satellites, so that's why they're finding more and more. And as you can see how fast they're finding them now, we're already up in 1 year, it moved up to 100,000. And the green is what they already found. So keep that in mind. The green is the indications that they already know about, and the white is what they're finding, constantly finding these rocks. So now we're pushing into 300,000, and this is back in 2005. And as you can see, what we're up against. It's really astounding once you understand what's out there and how small we really are. And then you're going to see a big change here in a minute, right around 2012, when they increase the technology again. And you're going to see the numbers increase very quickly. So now we're at 500,000, 2011, approaching. And there you have it. So there's a lot going on. And I'm looking for a newer diagram that's going to go all the way up to 2020. I don't think they have that out, because they really don't want you to know. Now, this is the Trojans in green right here. And as you can see, there's quite a few that they did find. That's the sun. This is the planet Earth. And the Trojans are on both sides. And they have separated them from the Greeks to the Trojans. I don't know why. So one's on the right side and one's on the bottom. Now in this illustration here, it's going to show what happens. So this is Jupiter's orbit, and these are the Trojans. But what happened back in 2015 is what we're dealing with, and it's basically came in as a comet, and then they reclassified it as a rock, but it's 2015 BZ 509. Now notice how many times it already hit both of these debris fields. Now it's going into the second orbit, and now it's going in and hitting them for the third time. And now it's going to go back in and hit them the fourth time. So now you understand why the Trojans got interrupted. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been on top of this subject dealing with the Trojans for over a year now. And there's times when I get tired of talking about it, because it's so serious, and I don't like repeating myself to so many people that are asking questions over and over. The emails are coming in, people are very concerned, and I'm concerned. I know what's going to take place because I've been on top of this subject for so long, and I must tell you, I'm getting mentally, physically, and spiritually exhausted. I'm doing the best I can to get this information out, and I'm asking everyone to please share this video. I know the first 30 minutes was important so people could understand about how to go to orbit diagrams, and as you saw in spaceweather.com, there's no rocks coming. All of them is what? 13 lunar distance, 6 lunar distance. They're covering it up. And I was told they're going to classify these rocks coming in as the Apollos. You're not going to see no identifications about Trojan. And this all started about a year ago on this video. 998 views a year ago, October. I have done my part. I have done everything I could possibly do, and I must tell you, I'm getting exhausted. Mentally, physically, and spiritually, I'm getting exhausted. I'm tired. And what happened to the primary channel? There's nothing I can do about that. They don't want this information released. And I'm going to try to put it on the primary channel, but I don't know if it's going to go through. I'm going to have to run some tests next week because they're restricting that channel to 15 minutes. And I believe they're going to try to take that channel down. And you know, I have so much money invested in trying to help everyone. 5,000 on a computer system recording audio, video recording, and then 5,000 on diesel. And I'm telling you, I'm getting exhausted. The last video I put up, this one, the Trojans was supposed to hit about the mid-week of August, and they didn't. So I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Never a Straight Answer is part of the United States Space Force, and they put the wrong data into the quantum computer system. And because of that, they did not know the exact location or the velocity of the speed, but they do know the size, and they miscalibrated. They put all of that information to that quantum computer, and it was wrong. And that's why it didn't happen. People ask me, why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? Well, I'm telling you, they screwed up. Now, the United States Space Force is connected with the Space Alliance. The Space Alliance is connected to China, Russia, the United States, India, and now Japan is involved. They are involved, ladies and gentlemen. And from what I understand, they're supposed to remove all of their differences to the side and focus on these rocks. So what happened? Well, here it is. As I did in the last video, that China put up over 20 missiles, 20 rockets. Well, now they're putting 20 more up. That was last week, probably a week and a half ago. And they were successful in removing over 100 of these rocks. But the United States Space Force, combined with the Earth, Space, and Missile Defense, they was not successful. So China took it as a conspiracy that the United States government did it intentionally. China's going to get hit. Okay? That's why they released so many rockets, over 20, and now 20 again, because they are concerned. But they are totally upset with the United States. Okay? They did knock down a few, but not many. Okay? The rock that was supposed to come in August, that's a quarter-mile wide, that was supposed to hit in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Vancouver and Washington State, that would supposedly set off, and it would set off the Cascade Subduction Zone. But now, because it's miscalibrated, I don't know where it's going to hit. I'm waiting on that information, and it's not coming through. It may be on the Pacific side. It may be in Canada. It may be in the United States. I cannot tell you. And there was 3 rocks, and the other 2, the first one was a quarter-mile wide. The second was supposed to hit in South America, or the Pacific Ocean, or the Atlantic Ocean. What I mean by South America is the lower part, the southern part of South America. The third was supposed to hit in Central America, the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Caribbean. But never a straight answer. You know, they say they cannot defend planet Earth any longer from these rocks. So what are they doing? Watch the video. They're covering their asses. Okay? I'm just going to be blunt with you. This is serious. Okay? They stated, go watch the video. Okay? They cannot protect us anymore. The other thing is they're focusing on the ecliptic. That means the equator, and we're going to have enough time in this video to cover it all the way around the world. 1,000 miles north, 1,000 miles south of the equator, ladies and gentlemen. That means the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, Brazil, Africa, the Sea of India, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the northern part of Australia. But they cannot protect us anymore. And I wonder why. Billions and billions and billions of dollars went into the United States Space Force, the Earth Space Missile Defense, and NASA. Never a straight answer. And I'm not going to get into NASA. Okay? So what I'm telling you, these rocks are coming. Now, I was told the middle of October, somewhere around the 10th, 11th, or 12th, somewhere about that area of the month, about middle, towards the end, yes, we're going to get a couple flybys. There's going to be some small impacts. More than likely, 60% water, 40% landmass. You figure it out, do the math. It's going to be in the water. I don't have that information. Okay. The other thing is, I received information that these 4 negative ETs are working with the United States government, China, Russia, and they have the capability of moving that rock out of its orbit diagram. Comet 67P, 2.5 miles wide. It was supposed to hit in 2015 and it didn't. And why did the United States send 300,000 plastic coffins to Puerto Rico and didn't even tell the government? Can you explain that? It was supposed to hit northeast in the Atlantic Ocean. They moved it out of the orbit so it would safely pass. And then they moved it back in. The reason they moved it back in because so they can track it. So these 4 negative entities, extraterrestrials, told the federal government, which they have to be in a closed environment because the Earth's composition of oxygen. And then once it's translated, then they give it to a major general. That major general gave it to the Pentagon. What did they say? We are not prepared to move that rock out of its position. So that means they're going to allow it to hit these entities. We don't have the technology. I was also told, well, let me back it up. The reason so to bring us to our knees so we would bow down and ask them to help us, alien savior. Go watch the video, the series, Second Coming of Christ and the Great Deception. There it is right there. We are in trouble. They're going to bring in the anti-you-know-what Christ. That's what they're going to do. And once this planet, this civilization, turn over the 4 keys, which is government, military, digital currency, and religion, that Antichrist is going to turn it over to his father, the great you-know-what. So we are in trouble. So we are going to go into Google Earth and look at the areas that's 1,000 miles north and 1,000 miles south of the equator. I do not have any information. And I know William or Mike around the world's talking about it. I've been talking about it for over a year. And Stephen from the Israeli News is talking about it. I'm talking about it. I've been talking about it before they did. And I'm telling you, this is biblical prophecies in front of your doorstep. okay? Whether you like it or not, we are in trouble. I was told there's going to be multiple forest fires throughout the world. Central America is going to get it worse. I don't have the information related to the, United States, America. I don't have that. I'm waiting. But these ETs, they're playing a game upon all of us, whether you like it or not. And that's all I can give you right now. So let's go. Okay? Let's go to Google Earth and look at the illustration that I'm going to present to you. Let's do it now. So I'm going to do this the best I can because Goofy Earth does not have an equator, believe it or not. Well, it doesn't matter because it moved about 30 degrees. But from this point to this point is 1,000 miles. Okay. So if you look at it from here, I'm going to bring this on around. And I'm going to give you the best I can because we are, well, it deals with the best I can, actually. So from here to here is about 1,000 miles. So this is what they're concerned about. This area here, somewhere along there. Okay, so now we're going to go to Africa, but these parts right here, including, I'm going to bring this in what I can. They're concerned about the Gulf of Mexico, of course, the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, all of this area of South America. This is the part of Africa that they are concerned. This is still approximately 1,000 miles from the equator, a total of 2,000 miles. The reason this is because of the circumference. And now we're going to move forward to the Sea of India. So this will be continuation to the Sea of India, approximately. So India, this area is going to be affected. And of course, Malaysia and Indonesia, these areas here. This is the next area, which, like I stated, Indonesia and Malaysia, as well as the northern part of Australia, will be affected. Hawaii will be affected as well. This is the next area. So parts of Mexico, Indonesia will be affected, as well as Australia, certain parts of the Sea of the Caribbean, and certain parts of Africa, South America. So this is what they're looking at, actually. I'm going to bring this down so you can see what I'm talking about. This whole area right here, from here over, including Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and as far as Peru. So what I'm getting at is they're concerned about these areas here. I'm doing the best I can, shorten this video up as much as possible. And this is what they're looking at. This is what they're concerned about. is this area right here, because it deals with North America and South America. So this whole area right here is going to be affected. You know, I'm talking 1,000 miles north of the equator and 1,000 miles south. Now, the other thing that I was told is this area right here. I'm going to bring this in a little bit. This is the area of the magnetic reversal. And we did have a 5.1 September the 6th. I was able to get that information because the USGS is not focusing on this area. So I was told this whole area right here will get hit with a small debris field. Now the scientist told me that if it comes in the right angle, a very, very sharp angle, okay, that it could release crust displacement in the magnetic north. That's what I was told, okay. So basically it would have to come in. I'm going to see if it would do this. It's not going to do it, okay, because of the radius. But it has to come in a sharp angle, okay. And it's not going to do it on this goofy. And no matter what I do, it's not going to show you a sharp angle. But I think you have enough common sense to figure it out. It would have to come in a very, very sharp angle, not with the ecliptic. What I mean by that is this is the equator, okay? The ecliptic goes from here to the center of the Earth. That's why they're concerned about the equator, ladies and gentlemen. So let's finish this up, shall we? Thank you. As far as the planetary system, during the month of November, December, we will witness the blue Kachina in 2022. The planetary system will be here approximately the first quarter of 2023. The red Kachina will appear in the southern hemisphere, and Chile and Argentina, they have very significant equipment there. They have infrared telescopes, and they're going to tell the United States government, we don't need your stupid grant anymore. They're going to release it. Okay? And then approximately sometime in March, April, we're going to see it in the northern hemisphere. The red Kachina, its brother, is coming. And this is going to be sometime in March or April of 2023, and the magnetic reversal process will be completed by then. Every mountain and island will be moved off its place or its foundation. It's in the book of Revelation. And the planetary system comes in every 3,657 years. We're currently at 3,654.5. So let's finish this up. I want to give you something. So here it is, August the 21st, 2017. The X marks the spot, April the 8th, 2024. That tells me, as a metaphor, that 7-year tribulations will be over with in September the 23rd, 2024. Now, regardless how you look at it, I know a lot of you are going through a lot, so am I. I don't even have a significant other anymore. And I live out in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours from somewhere, and I'm truly blessed. But we have to continue. to spread the seeds of encouragement, hope, so you and others don't become hopeless. And Yahshua is looking out for us. God bless everyone. Please be safe and be strong. And may the Heavenly Father continue to watch over you and your loved ones. Be safe, everyone. And thank you all for being yourselves. This message took me about 6 hours of my life, and I'm very grateful. God bless you all. Much love, everyone. Please continue in prayer, because He is coming very soon, and it's time for us to go home. Let's go home together. Let's be strong. Okay? It's very easy to be strong. You are mature souls, and we're going to make it. Thanks to the Heavenly Father and His beautiful Son, Jesus Christ. Much love.